Good morning, everyone. Let's start our Saturday class with the prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bho Bhavaswaha, Tatsavitra Vareneyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodaya. Asto Ma Satgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamya. Om Senavavtu, Senabhunaktu, Saviryam Karvavayi, Tejasvi Navadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavayi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Saturdays we study Vivekchudamani, and we saw that how the conversation was between the Guru and the disciple in the beginning, and then for most of this scripture, Guru is explaining what the Atma and Anatma is, how to do the practice, what will you get after you do the practice. And now we are at the part where the disciple, after having practice, so that means he learned also, he practiced also, and now he has experienced also. And out of his experience, he is speaking right now. All these verses, there are quite a few verses, and he is showing his gratitude to his Guru. Okay, we ended our class last week with verse number 487, and some of your books, it could be 486, but it starts like Namo Namaste Guruve Mahatmane. That is the verse where he says, salutations to you, O noble Guru, who is free from attachment, best among the noble ones, the embodiment of the essence of eternal, non-dual bliss, who's endless, ever the limitless ocean of mercy. Okay? Sada apar daya ambhu. So let's look at what else is saying in these verses now. The next one, 488. Yat katakshah shashi sa indrachandrikaha pat dhutam bhavatap shramah praptvan aham akhand vaibhav anandam atma padam kshanat. Yat means whose. Kataksh is like a glance. Shashi, moon. So that means when acted as a moon, Sandra Chandrikaha Pat. It's like a moon beams or a moonlight, beams of the moonlight. Chandrikaha Pat. Dhut Bhavatapja Shramaha. Having been cleansed of the weariness caused by the afflictions of the world. So that means afflictions of the heat of worldly life. Bhavatap. Praptvan. This is the next line. Praptvan. Attainer of. Praptvan. That means he says, Aham. Aham means I. That means I have acquired this. I have obtained this. What did he obtain? Akhand Vaibhav Anandam. Bliss of infinite splendor. Akhand is like a broken, non-broken, brokenless. Akhand. So which really means eternal, endless. Akshayam, indestructible. Kshanat, in a moment. Kshanat. So he's still thanking and glorifying his Guru. He says, whose glance? Like the Guru looked at me, Guru's glance, like a cascade of moonbeams, has removed my fatigue caused by the miseries of the world. All that bhavatap, all the sorrows, all the miseries of this worldly life, and taken me to the indescribable bliss of infinite splendor, the Atma. In but a moment, we all know how moon cools the earth at night. Moon doesn't touch the earth, but only the beams of the moon. They fall on the earth and earth feels cleansed and cooled. So that's how, when we are feeling the tension of this worldly life, the fatigue and the sorrow, we feel comforted. We feel that unbroken bliss from Guru's glance. This is the blessing and the grace of the Guru. Sometimes we wonder that if Guru is not in front of us, or Guru left the body, Guru is not the body, we can always feel that glance of Guru on us. Because Guru is nothing but eternal, always with us. So the samsaric fatigue, the exhaustions which we gather during the lifetime, they get lifted away with that glance of Guru, with the blessing of the Guru. So this example of the moonlight cooling the earth is beautiful over here. Okay, so we feel cooled also. We feel that fatigue has been taken away, because what does the world do? World gives us a lot of worry, a lot of stress. Do this, otherwise you are no good. But Guru teaches us how to live in this world, but don't get drowned into this world. Guru says you are Atma, nothing other than Paramatma. Pay more attention to that, realize that. So in the presence of the moon, the earth by itself gives up the heat gathered during the day, the same way the student in the presence of the teacher, guided by Guru's knowledge, reaches the cool comfort of the blissful state of the self, which is akhand, infinite. All this happens in the flash of a moment, actually. Preparation is needed, but when it happens, it doesn't take that long. It's in a moment it happens. Kshanat. The minute we get connected with Guru, we feel this. So to that great Guru, he says, my namaskar. In the next verse, 489, still student is speaking. Dhanyo aham kritkrityo aham vimukto aham brav grahat nitye anand savarupo aham purno aham tvad anugrahat. Dhanyo aham, I am blessed. Kritkritye. Kritkritya means one who has reached the fulfillment of life. So he says, Krityo aham, I have attained what needed to be attained in this life. That means the purpose of life. Vimukta. Vimukta means free, liberation. Bhav grahat, from the jaws of or the shark of the worldly life, or the grasp of this worldly life. Graha. Graha means a shark also. Nitya Ananda Svarupaha, the embodiment of eternal bliss. Aham, I. Puran. Puran means full. So Purno Aham, I am full and infinite. Tvad means yours. Anugrahat, grace. So that means, O teacher, all by your grace. So he says, blessed I am. I have reached the fulfillment of my life. When we accomplish something, we feel fulfilled. So he says, I have reached the fulfillment of my life. And I am free from the shark of transmigration, coming back and going. I am the embodiment of eternal bliss. I am the infinite. And this happened all by your grace. So this sansar, this worldly life is compared to a shark. We are all very familiar with the shark. There have been some good documentaries and the movies on shark. How a shark, it will not eat limb by limb. It just swallows the whole thing, keeps the whole thing in the mouth. And that's why we feel that we have been swallowed by this worldly life. It's almost like a living death in the stomach of samsara. So having realized the selfhood, I am liberated from this death. And I am indeed blessed. So that's dhanyo aham. And as the self from the nature of eternal bliss, I am full, puran, no sense of deficiency. That means there's no desire, worldly desire. Worldly desires are only when we feel deficient. When we feel less than complete, then worldly desires. So no worldly desires, purno aham. I am puran. There's no desire to supply it. All this is gained by the grace, O teacher. To you, my namaskar. Then in the next verse, 490, asangoho aham, anangoho aham, alingo aham, abhanguraha, prashanto aham, ananto aham, amlo aham, chirantana. Asang means unattached. I am unattached. Anang, disembodied. Aling, free from the subtle body. Aling. Bhangur, I am free from any decay. Bhangur. See, Bhangur also means unchangeable. Bhangur. Prashant, serene. Aham, I. Ananta, infinite. Aham. Amlaha, taintless, unsullied. Aham. Chirantanaha, endless. Something which doesn't have any end. Chirantana. Unattached I am, disembodied I am, free from the subtle body I am, and undecaying I am. Serene I am, infinite I am, unsullied I am, and endless also. He's talking about what he's experiencing right now. Whatever the Guru taught him, Guru advised him, he practiced it, and from this practice, he has experienced this. Experience. We all know that the three parts of this learning, Shravan, Manan, Nidhi, Dhyasan. So he is at this level, Nidhi Dhyasan, he's experiencing it. Because he did not leave his practice only at the level of listening. He listened, then he reflected, then he practiced, and after practicing, he experienced. And from the experience, he's talking like this. So I am, when he says I am, that is the Atma he is experiencing. Because body is attached, mind is attached. So that's why he keeps on clarifying for us. I'm not even the subtle body. A lingo aham. Because in the previous verses, he was talking about little body also. But now we see his vision has changed. Having reaching the Paramatma, he has become part of Paramatma, the self. And that's why he's crying out in this ecstasy of his identification with the Brahm. He's not bragging about it. It's in that ecstatic moment he's crying out. And these verses for us sadhaks should help us to contemplate also. That the real us is asanga, unattached. It's only the body, mind, intellect, they get attached to the world. Body gets attached. We get attached to the emotions, we get attached to our thoughts. We just identify ourselves with this non-self. So we have to contemplate on that. Attachment is the function of the mind and intellect. And what is our real state, which is called as self, is beyond the mind and intellect. So there's no sense of any attachment over there. Attachment has fallen down. You have left behind the attachment. And it's like a one infinite mass of consciousness. Then getting attached to what? If it's only one, how can you get attached? For attachment, there has to be two. So there's no two, it's only one. No question of attachment. And disembodied I am in this homogeneous mass of consciousness, which is the nature of the self. There can never be any separate part, or any different structure, or any different function. It's like a physical or mental or intellectual bodies you have transcended. There's no limbs, no limbs. And there's no ling either. Subtle body. Ling sharir. Ling sharir is a subtle body. Man, buddhi, chit, ahankar is called ling sharir. So the term ling means devoid of the mind and intellect. So that means no agitation. Where do the agitations happen? Where is the fluctuation happening? And in the ling sharir. And then he says, bhangur, undecaying I am. Actually, bhangur also means when we sprout something, that is a bhangur. So there's no sprouting without sprout. That means there's no vasanas. So bhangur. And sprouting happens in the thoughts and the mind. Or even in the actions also. Bhangur. So bhangur. We need to contemplate on that. Next one, 491. अकर्ता अहम अभोगता अहम अविकारो अहम अक्रिया शुद्ध बोध स्वरूपो अहम केवलो अहम सदाशिवम. अकर्ता, the non-doer. Aham, I. Abhogta, not the experiencer or the enjoyer. Bhogta. Aham, I. Avikaraha, without modifications, without changes, without vikara. Akriya, without activity. So I'm changeless, actionless. Shuddha Buddha, Shuddha Bodha Savrupaha, the embodiment of pure knowledge, Shuddha Bodha. Aham, I. Keval, absolute, Aham, I. Sadashiva, eternal auspiciousness. Sadashiva. I am not the doer. I am not the experiencer. I am without modifications and without activity. I am the embodiment of pure knowledge. Shuddha Bodha. I am absolute, Keval, and eternal auspiciousness. I am Sadashiva. Shivoham, Shivoham. Atma functioning through the mind or through the body. So body functions, mind functions, intellect functions, Atma does not function. Enjoyment is also through the senses. Atma is detached from all of that. So activities take place in me, but I have no activity. I am pure knowledge, objectless awareness. In my presence, all knowledge is possible. I am knowledge of a thing minus the thing. That is a Shuddha Bodha. Absolute and ever auspicious, immaculate, perfect I am. (492) Drashtum Shrotru Vaktuhu Kartur Hogtu Vibhin Ev Aham Nitye Nirantar Nishkriyani Simas Ang Purna Bodh Atmana. Drashtu, seer. Shrotru, the hearer. Vaktur, from speaker. Kartur, the doer. Bhogtur, enjoyer. Vibhin, distinct, other than. Vibhin, ev aham, I am indeed. Nitya means eternal. Nirantar means unbroken. Nishkriye, beyond activity. Nisim, boundless. Asang, unattached. Puran, complete. Bodh, the essence of knowledge. Atma is the self. Indeed, I am other than the seer. Hearer, speaker. Over here, seer means the eyes actually. Sometimes we use the word seer for the Atma, but over here, seer means the seeing, what sees. So indeed, I am other than the seer, hearer, speaker, doer, and experiencer. I am eternal and unbroken, beyond activity, boundless, unattached, and infinite, the essence of knowledge. So with all these words again, he's trying to express what he's experiencing. It's almost like he is in that kind of ecstasy where he's choking. Incapacity to express the inexpressible is indicated here in these stammering verses. Because he's repeating also, but he wants to express what he's feeling. Because we think that we are because we can see. We think we are because we can hear, or we can speak, or we can do, or we can enjoy. We just put all that together and we think that's what we are. But he is telling us, I am none of that. That means his individuality he has transcended and he has reached the state of selfhood. So in the first line we see he's using the negation of the body, mind, intellect. That's the first line, the first half of this verse. And in the second line, when he says Nitya Nirantar Nishkriyani, that means he is asserting on Om, on Brahma. So I am not that which I thought that I was before. I am that which I didn't know I am, and I feel so complete. I feel so blessed. And that's why he just keeps on repeating it. We need to contemplate on this. Because this is our journey. It's not only one person's journey. This is a journey for all the sadhaks. So we should get encouraged from it. With our practice, one day we will feel this too. We should have this burning desire to experience what this disciple is feeling. How come he experienced it and I'm not experiencing it? We should just strengthen our own practice too. Just like he did. 493. Na aham idam, na aham ado, api ubhyoram, ev bhasakam param shuddham bahe abhyantra shunyam purnam brahm advitye. Aham, ev aham. Na aham idam. Na means not, aham means I, idam means this. So anything which I called this, I am not that. Na aham ada. Ada means that. So that means I'm not this, I'm not that. So na aham ada. I am not that. Api ubhyo. Or even both. Ubhya means two. So somebody might say that, no, if you're not this, you're not that, you might be both of them. He says, I'm not both. Avbhasakam, that which is the illuminator. Param supreme, Shuddham, pure. Bahe abhyantra shunyam, free from the consideration of exterior and interior. Abhyantar and bahe. Purnam, complete, infinite. Brahma, advityam, non-dual. Advitya. Dvitya means two, advitya means non-dual. Ev means alone. Aham means I. I am neither this nor that. But the supreme illuminator of both. I am pure. I have neither an exterior nor an interior. I am infinite. Verily, I am the non-dual Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. So he's experiencing the pure consciousness and he's feeling that I am neither this could be something which is close to me. Very close to us was ignorance. I am not the ignorance. And nor I am that. That could be the Vidya. So avidya and Vidya, I'm neither one of them. I am the illuminator of both of these. When we are ignorant, that light. If I say that I am the body, who is really shining on the body? I get attached to the body, but there is an Atma in me which knows it. So that's why he said, I am the illuminator of both these, avidya and Vidya, which are two aspects of my intellect. But I am the supreme self. So I am not the body. This is the body. And then he says, if the body itself is not, then what is inside or what is outside then? Inside and outside of what? When we are deep sleeping, body is not available to us. We have transcended the body in deep sleep. There's no inside, there's no outside. In that condition, is the darkness inside or the outside the body? Think about it. It is Purnam, all full. And he says, I am the non-dual Brahm, other than which there is nothing at all. 494. Student is still talking. Nirupam anadi tattvam tvam aham idam iti kalpana duram nitya anand ek rasam satyam brahm advityam ev aham. Nirupam. Nirupam means incomparable or unparalleled. Nirupam. Anadi. Anadi is originless, beginningless. Anadi. Tattvam. Reality. So Anadi Tattvam. Beginningless truth. Tvam means you. Aham, I. Idam. So 2 times idam means this and that. Iti means thus. Kalpanaha, duram. Kalpana is imagination. Duram, distinction. So it's like a beyond imagined distinction. Nitya is eternal. Anand ek rasam, essence of absolute bliss. Nitya Anand ek rasam. Satyam, the truth. Brahma, Advityam ev aham. Brahm, Advitya. Advitya is non-dual. Ekva. I am unparalleled, the originless reality. Beyond such imaginations as you and I, this and that. The essence of bliss eternal, the truth, non-dual Brahma, I am. Brahm Advityam eva. So this reality, this tattva is unequaled and is without beginning. Sometimes we think maybe it started at a certain period of time. No. It is without beginning. It always was and it will be. Because the time itself, when we look at the time, linear time, it is just a concept projected on Brahman. At a certain time, it started. That is just an egocentric attachment with something which is untrue. So you and I can only be at the egocentric level. That means you as a body, me as a body, or you as the intelligence, me as intelligence. No. This I, this Brahma is beyond all these concepts. Because when we look at this and that, that is only in reference to our body, where I'm sitting. I can say that this something closer to me is this, something is away from me is that. So this and that are just a set of superimpositions at the gross level. And these concepts imply conditioning in space. Self is beyond the time, the space, and the causation. It is eternal, it is non-dual, and that's why he repeats again, Brahm Advityam Ev Aham. I am that Brahm, which is beyond all this. 495. Narayano Aham, Narkanto Ko Aham, Purant Ko Aham, Purusho Aham Isha, Akhand Bodh Aham Shesh Sakshi, Nirishvaro Aham, Nirham Cha Nirmamaha. Narayan. That is word we use for God. Narayan. Aham. I am. Narkantam. Narkantak means the slayer of the Narak, the hell. Aham. I. Purantak. The destroyer of 3 Puras. Purantak. Purantak word is used for Lord Shiva also. Purantak, destroyer of the demon Tripura. But he says, I am that. Slayer of the Narak and destroyer of the 3 Puras. Purusha, supreme being. Aham, I. Ishaha, the Lord. Akhand Bodh, unbroken knowledge. Ashesh Sakshihi, the witness of everything. Ashesh, that means there's no remainder. Ashesh Sakshi. Nir Ishwar, without another Lord. Nir Aham, free from I-ness. Nirmamaha, free from minus. I am Narayan. I am the slayer of Narak, the hell. I am the destroyer of Tripura. I am the supreme being, the Lord. I am unbroken knowledge. I am the witness of everything. I have no other Lord, and I am devoid of I and mine. Who's making these statements? It's not the body which is making it. It's not the identification of the body or identification of the relationships. It is the one who is established, which Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, are rude. Established in the self is crying out, who I am. So Yoga Yukta, one with the Brahma. Narayan. Ayan means the glory. Nar means it's just like anything, glory of everything is Narayan. So it's the whose glory is the whole universe, all this universe, the creation, the manifested. Whose glory is this? Narayan's, God's. So this manifested world is nothing but God. And Narak is what? Narak is any kind of a frustration, any kind of a misery, any kind of a sadness, that is a Narak. Any kind of agitation in our mind is a Narak. He says, there's no Narak in me. No trace of hell. Narak Antam. And Purantak, destroyer of the three Puris. What are those three Puris? These are three bodies of mind, the physical body, the subtle body, and the causal body. All three Puris. I have conquered them. Or you can look at it as a three states of consciousness. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. I am none of them. No attachment with that. Because I recognize the fourth stage, which is a Turiya state. So in that sense, he says, I am the destroyer of the three Puris. Three cities where I used to reside. I know I'm not that. Because in our early moments in our lives, we live our Puris. We are attached to these Puris. My body, my waking state, my sleeping, my dreams, those are all Puris. But right now, this practitioner understands, experiences, I am none of that. He says, Shivo Aham. Shiv I am. And Shiv means auspicious over here. I am the Atma who dwells in this equipment. I am the Atma. I am Ish, he says. I am the Lord. Ish means the Lord, the controller, the ruler, the regulator. Without me, the body wouldn't have worked, but now I understand I am not the body. Without me, nothing can be. That's why Ish I am, the Lord of all experiences. Whether it was a dream experience or whether it was a deep sleep experience or a wakeful experience, without me, I could have never experienced it. I am the Ish of all that. I am the objectless knowledge, the witness of everything, without exception. I have experienced this because of you, my Guru. Next time we'll see what else he's saying, because there are a lot more verses left where this student is singing in his ecstasy all this. We should get encouraged from it. We should not have the doubts in our mind that what is he saying? No, he's saying it again and again so that we can contemplate on this also. Okay, so let's stop the class here today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much.